Good evening, Dave.
Hello.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I know that many of you have purchased and have received your new notary manual for 2026. Dave actually went to detail of showing how much it weighed, okay, because it does have some weight to it. And it's not like our normal versions when it comes to the difference of the size that we are so used to. It is something you're going to want to make sure you have a good way of protecting it because, as you can tell, when you're dealing with paper back, it's not hard for something to niche the corners to cause damage. So, yes, you're going to probably want to have something specifically that you can put it inside, almost like a Bible case, just so that you can have ways to protect it for a long period of time. Because chances are this probably won't be updated for another 10 years. So just to think of holding something that long can
Mhm.
go through a lot, right? So
Yeah.
again, protecting what you have in whatever way you can is something that you're probably going to want to actually try to make sure you do take the time to make happen. So without further ado, we're going to go over the topic for tonight. And I have actually taken part of the information from the 2026 version because it is a lot of updated information that is very critical for us to actually understand and know compared to what the 2016 is covering. But we're only going to talk about this topic when it comes to the safe deposit boxes. When it comes to the 2026, because I don't want anyone confused that does not have the manual yet. So hopefully within another month, everyone will have it that is a notary and have actually placed their order. I know the postal service was very, very busy, so I'm just glad that we were able to get our publication when we did, so we can actually start learning a lot of the updates together that has been now updated in this 2026 manual. So let me go to my screen here. So tonight's topic, and if you want to ask a question, there's a Q&A in the chat area, so you can put your questions in that section. If you're just wanting to make a comment or share an actual website or anything like that, you can put it under everyone. But when it comes to specifically questions, it helps to keep those organized so we don't miss anything if you put it in the Q&A. If I can have someone moderate at the end that can help make sure there's no questions missed, that can help me because when it comes to my focus is really making sure that I stay on task with the presentation. I don't even have my phone where I can actually hear it because it's always on Do Not Disturb. And so if someone's trying to call me to say, hey, can I get on? I don't know. So I'm just trying to make sure people understand my focus level is I have a very short attention span. So I need to make sure I don't forget where I'm at when I'm going over this with you guys. Okay. So we're going over the hidden notary niche that pays. Witnessing safe deposit box openings in North Carolina and the new guide when it comes to what has been updated. All right. I'm going backwards. All right. So witnessing your safe deposit box openings. So when it comes to witnessing a safe deposit box opening, a hidden notary niche, while many notaries focus on real estate, this role serves financial institutions and is specifically governed by North Carolina banking and notary law. So when it comes to the legal framework and the 90 plus 30 rule, you can go to your North Carolina General Statutes 53(6)(c), as in Charlie, 613A, and the timeline is a box. A box isn't just abandoned. It must be 90 days past due before the bank can send the notice. The waiting period, once the notice is sent, the bank must wait an additional 30 days before they can drill a hole to actually get access to the box. Now, when it comes to conflicts of interest, I explicitly mentioned you cannot be a director, officer, employee, or stockholder of that bank. That is very, very important to understand. Again, you can't be a person that is a director of that bank. You cannot be an officer of the bank. You cannot be an employee working for the bank as a notary public, or a stockholder of that bank. Now, if you are a customer of the bank that also is a notary, that is exempt. That does not, this is not part of that list of who you cannot be. All right. Because as a customer, that's who you are. You don't have stock in it unless you become a stockholder. Now, of course, if you become a stockholder, you know that this is something you cannot do for this particular banking institution. So it's very important that you, as a notary, understand that, because I'm hearing a lot of conversation about how banks are using their own notaries, and they should know that is a no-no. And that is definitely putting the notary in jeopardy of their losing their commission and other things that can come with that. So again, it's too much of a risk for anyone to actually take in this capacity. So when it comes to the witnessing protocol, our core duties is identifying and having certain people present. Okay. So when it comes to identifying everyone, you must verify the identity of the bank officer and the locksmith via personal appearance. You are attesting to their presence on the certificate. Then when it comes to the eyewitness requirement, the box must be unlocked or drilled directly in front of you, the notary. The warning: failure to adhere strictly to this can expose you, the notary, of liability or criminal investigation for missing items. This is why it's so important that everything is happening all at one time and you're being able to identify and witness everything that's taken place from the beginning until everything is completed. Now, when it comes to the inventory process, the core duties is to transfer and describe. So in the transfer, you are the one accessing the box and transferring items to the bank's package. When it comes to the detailed descriptions, you write the description of each item on the certificate as you move it. So you're going to take one individual thing out of the box, inventory it by recording it on the document that they give, for you to actually make sure that you're identifying every single piece and then putting it into a package that's going to be sealed at the end. The consistency. Each bank may have a different type of form, okay, but it's still an inventory form. You have to review it before the drilling starts to ensure you know where the inventory list goes. Okay, so again, we have responsibilities when we are in this position. Then when it comes to documentation and sealing, the certificate, again, we're dealing with the signing and the securing of the information. So signatures, you may need a locksmith, including company name, and the bank officer, including their title, to sign the form. Sealing, you place the certificate inside the package and seal it in the presence of the bank official. And then when it comes to labeling, ensure the leasee's name and opening date are on the outside of the package. Again, this is additional responsibilities that we're required to do. And then we have to record keeping, and record keeping is something that is very important just as a notary in general. All our notarial acts should be recorded. All right. It's not a must based on statute, but it is a high requirement for best practice. Even though it's a bank form, you should make a journal entry for this act. So again, it's all about what you're doing with your notarial seal when it comes to your stamp. So you will be notarizing this form. So when it comes to post-opening responsibilities, these are the final steps: storage and mailing. The bank's job: once you seal it, the bank is responsible for the general vault storage and mailing the certificate to the lessee. The notary's job, your job, ends once the package is secured and your journal is signed. That is it. Okay. So from the beginning to the end, you're dealing with two other individuals that's usually in the vault with you when it comes to having access to the box, and you actually being the one who's removing the box to remove the contents and recording all of the contents, putting all of the contents in a different package that will later be sealed. Okay. And then eventually put into a general vault storage, with the hopes that they can find the person who, quote unquote, abandoned it. So the summary: This is a professionalism in a niche market. All right. This is high responsibility work because, again, you're dealing with someone else's property when it comes to someone who left items that may not be back to recover it. And then this is something you can consider. A locksmith notary dual role can be a specific business model. What does that look like? So, the locksmith-notary dual role is a specialized business model that combines the functions of two different required professionals into a single service provider, primarily for financial institutions dealing with abandoned safe deposit boxes. So, the having this particular niche by holding both a locksmith certification, because you have to go through an entire examination to become a locksmith and go through the actual North Carolina Locksmith Licensing Board. So it's not just a small application process. You have to go through an actual class, just like we did to become a notary. So you have to make sure you earn the credentials when it comes to what is considered qualifying for you to become a locksmith. Um, the individual creates a niche service that, again, streamlines the procedure for financial institutions, providing both the technical skill to open the box and the legal authority to witness, certify, and document the inventory transfer. So, key things to remember: there's the 90-day rule. The manual clarifies that the notice only happens after 90 days of non payment. Then ID verification. You have to ID the bank officer and the locksmith. And then the liability warning. There can be a criminal investigation if the drilling isn't witnessed properly. So again, there are procedures that have to be followed in order for there's nothing to be compromised. And then journaling. Again, it's explicitly recommended to keep a journal entry for this act. And again, I encourage it for all acts, just because if you're serious about being a notary, protecting and serving, trying to help prevent fraud or forgery, this is one of the best ways of doing it by recording what took place every single time you notarize for somebody. Okay. So now we are going to take this to you all for any questions that you may have. So we can actually, again, go through review because this is Financial Literacy Month, and the goal is to find ways that you can see how you can earn additional income to hopefully have a balance with your finances. Because again, we all in different places, but being able to have a comfortable nest egg, having financial security is something that we all desire to have. So this can be something that you may want to look into further. Again, you're going to have to do your own independent research, though, to see what banks or financial institutions that include credit unions may actually have this service and that might need assistance when they do come across having to have safe deposit boxes inventory that has been abandoned. And that's the whole point of what we do is dealing with abandoned safe deposit boxes. Okay.
Okay.
So the floor is open.
So Monica has a question. Does the locksmith sign before he leaves, or does he stay the entire time?
The locksmith actually stays there the entire time because there's got to be more than one person's eyes on what's been inventoried. So that's the reason why, even though there may be drilling to actually remove the lock, then they still need to be there to sign the document at the end of everything being inventory. So they have to be there for the duration.
Okay. So Belinda, if you have that dual role, are you paid as a locksmith and a notary? And how do you find out what is the pricing for that market?
So that's something that again you'll have to investigate and
Okay.
research as far as finding out what companies actually provide locksmith services, and
Mm-hmm.
then kind of ask them, have you ever had to remove a safe deposit box from the vault of a bank or credit union, and find out exactly how much they charge. And again, this could be just general questions when you're actually wanting to get about 3 to 5 answers from different resources.
Okay.
And then you can try to figure out how you can actually play around with those numbers. And so the rule of thumb for me when I share how to get your quotes so you can actually know how to set yourself up for pricing, you want to get an average. So if you get three quotes, you add all three, divided it by the number that you have by three, and that
Mhm.
should be an average that you can actually start with for yourself.
Okay.
When someone asks, okay, so how much do I charge as a notary? We don't know how long you may be there because the contents are not discovered until that box is opened. It may be very completely empty. You may have one box, you may have 20
Okay.
boxes because it all depends on when they decide to actually have everything inventoried based on their schedule. And
Mhm.
again, we don't know how much contents may be coming out of any of those boxes. So
Mhm.
you have to just kind of realistically think, what are the banking hours? 8 hours, right?
Right.
So if you're saying, okay, if I have to be there for a whole 8 hour time frame, what is that worth to you? Are you going to charge them hourly and then have that number to be the max if you're there for 8 hours? So that way it's easier for you to tell them, okay, if it's a whole day, this is my flat rate. If
Okay.
it's going to be 2 hours, then you just divide it by whatever your hourly rate would be. And that way you can actually have a actual flat rate without trying to figure out, oh my goodness, how do I decide? Just make it sure that you're not indecisive when someone's talking to you about your pricing. You really want to be very clear.
Mhm. Okay.
Did I answer your
Um,
question?
yes. Um, Karen says she has a true story about something that happened during an inventory.
Oh, good.
Go
All right.
ahead,
Okay.
So,
Karen.
Um, so I was teaching the notary class, and we got to this part, and one of the students said that at his bank, uh, the notary had to go to the restroom and left the bank officer there with the box. And when the notary came back, she realized that a necklace was missing from the bag. Thank goodness. And the bank officer had it. They found it on her person.
That's
mm,
So that's something that, I share with all my classes because, don't leave it. If it is one of those, if you can't wait to go to the bathroom, then, if it's not drilled, and you can lock, it can be locked back up. That'd be one thing.
mhm.
But and he said after that, they started having two bank officers watching. Well, I wouldn't leave it with two either. They
Right.
were friends.
no. Mm-mm.
And to top it all off, the bank officer that stole the necklace was the auditor.
With the
So
what?
the auditor,
Oh, wow.
which kind of surprised me. But anyway,
Mm,
it.
mm.
I always mention that to all my classes now after that because I would have never really. I mean, I guess until you got there and you thought about it, and it came up, you went. It's just not something you'd think ahead of time. So
Right.
to the bathroom before you start,
Yeah.
or in between opening boxes or something like that.
Wow. She must
Wow.
have done it before because how how do you get comfortable doing something like that? Wow. Okay.
Desperate
Oh,
times. That's why when it comes to certain positions you hold, you have to make sure that you're not going to have um what's the word I want to say? The word is desperate at the end of the day. Because just like anything else, if you feel like you having to do a fight or flight situation, you're not thinking consciously or better yet, logically about what is going to happen after the fact. So it's all about factoring everything, the pros and cons, and just not putting yourself in a situation that you can be compromised, which goes back to why we as a notary public cannot, should not accept tips because that's almost like a bribery situation that can
mhm.
go totally wrong. Even though it's an innocent gesture for a lot of people to say, oh, can I actually give you more? Like, no, we cannot accept more legally because
Mhm.
we're a public official. Once they understand the word public official, we can accept certain gifts and things of that nature. It's one of those where we can say we really appreciate the thought. However, even though I can't accept a tip, if you can kindly give me a review, that to
Mhm.
me is the even exchange of them being able to share why they wanted to give us a tip based on why they were moved to actually feel to offer that to us. But yes, I'm hearing a lot of notaries, of course, taking tips and
Oh,
then
yeah.
actually bragging about it because they're excited about the fact that someone has given them more money. But it's explicit in the statutes. Do not accept that you're compromising your commission every time you say yes.
Yeah, instead of giving me a tip, I would really appreciate if you recommended me to other friends and family. That's how
That's
you
another
can
way of
be
doing
a
it.
blessing to me. Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. 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 Wow.
And Dave, Dave, I see your hand is raised.
Um, what documentation should the notary ask the bank for to show that the box rent is actually sufficiently overdue and that the box owner has been noticed and the clock is run out? So the notary knows that this is a legitimate opening and inventorying of the box.
So it doesn't say that when it comes to what the statute just specifically say there's the inventory document that we're going to inventory because see by law the bank has process and procedures they have to follow as well. That's why it explicitly says 90 days of it not being paid when this process begins. And so we're only going by actually having that document with the person that the box belongs to written down with the box number and all of that information, and then us going through where we're going to list the items.
But we already heard from Karen that sometimes people in the bank do things they shouldn't do. So you can't necessarily put it past someone in the bank to come up with a scheme to get into a box and have it inventoried and then disappear with the goods. It sort of reminds me of the question we frequently hear about how much should the notary be looking at the contents of the document to make sure everything's in order, or it's sort of like getting the proper ID from the principal, so you know who you're dealing with, and there's indications that it's a legitimate transaction. So it seems to me like a good idea to ask for something from the bank to show that they've followed the procedures and the
But
clock
that's
is
not what we're
run out and
saying
now
here.
it's time to get in the box.
But remember, this is one of the reasons why, when it comes to as a notary, we should record information in our journal. Things can happen on any type of document transaction after the fact that we have no control over. But what we can control is what we write down and record when it comes to what we have access to after we have gone through the process. So, yes, if someone wants to do something criminal, they're going to do it. Our goal is to make sure that while we're there, we're doing exactly what we have the ability to do in that situation of, again, inventorying what is in the box, that we're actually able to identify everything with who's there and exactly what we're doing because we're the only ones who's touching anything inside that box. Once it's in this sealed envelope that we have witnessed has been sealed and we have already collected the signatures, then that's it for what we can do. If something happens afterwards, again, we can only write down what took place. We gathered signatures on the document or on our journal, but that's the limit of what we can do. So, yes, I know there's times that we will love to be able to do more, but again, we have to remember our position. Okay, any other questions? Let's see. Sarah, I am so glad you're here.
Hi, thanks.
No, I don't see this.
You've been a notary for a while. How long did it take for you to start building up your clientele, particularly with the safe deposit boxes? Did it take a while? Did you really have to market your abilities? And how did it work for you?
Okay, so I've not ever done a safe deposit box. My main clientele and customers has always been more of just regular documents from an individual that needed something notarized. I've worked with several businesses when it comes to loans, real estate, I should say loans, and those that have had a lot of estate planning documents for their clients. So I've worked with firms in that capacity, but I've not ever done a bank safe deposit box or abandoned safe deposit box yet. I'm still open to it. I just haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Okay, because I was wondering how I could market myself as such, and because I'm about to start ordering the notary public cards and seeing what I can do in order to get a steady stream of employment. That's
Okay.
why I thought I'd
So,
ask.
and just thinking about marketing in general, the goal is for you to research what it is that you're interested in doing. As a notary, we have so many opportunities. It's just like almost endless, even when we do not have to notarize anything. So to market, you do have to consider all of the opportunities to use. Google Business Profile is a list of things that you can put down as far as what you can do, what you're willing to do. You being able to take it to social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, being able to actually share what you have the ability to do, but not just what to do. Give value of why choose you. You have to give a unique value proposition of why, of all the notaries, they should actually bring their business to you. So, educating them on educational posts to give them information that they may not have known before. That can be very helpful to put yourself in an expert situation where people are now coming across information for the very first time. If you're in their area, they more than likely going to want to use you because they feel you have their best interest at heart with the information that they discovered that they may have not known before. So it's all about understanding psychology of how people think and
Mhm.
just having a narrow thought of who is your ideal customer. It can't be everybody, okay? Because you're not going to get where you're hoping to for that. All right. It's almost like trying to serve every different type of personality type and pleasing everybody. You cannot do it. It's just not going to happen. So you just want to make sure you do have an idea of who your customer will be, and that's who you're talking to every time you make a post, that particular person. And they say if you put or if you build, they will come. And that to me has worked over my life. So I know it works. And so you just have to have that belief of what you have the ability to do. It's a process. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to be consistency. You've proven to yourself that you can do this, even when it's like, oh my goodness, am I wasting my time? You're going to start questioning yourself because again, if the phone is not ringing like you're hoping to, or you're not getting emails like you were looking forward to, again, it may not happen right now, but it will happen eventually. You just have to remain consistent.
Yep, and I found that to be the case when I worked at previous jobs. At first, you were a little shaky, but there was always someone there to
Yeah.
help you out, like you. And but eventually you found your footing and were able to get up and running. But if you could send that to me in an email, that'd be great because as you know, I have a little man in the house. It's hard to keep everything where it should be. So if you could send that, that'd be great. And thank you.
You're very welcome, Sarah. And Miss Vicky, I see your hands up.
What I did is I printed off a little short stuffer type thing where I quoted that North Carolina general statute that says you can't be a bank employee, and clipped my calling card to it and walked to the banks and says I realize that your in-house notaries shouldn't be doing this job. I live locally. If you'd like to call me sometime, and no one has, but I suspect they use their in-house notaries more often than legally. But I basically walked a copy of the law with my card.
Well, that's a good thing because again, it's been transparent. helping someone know something they may not generally know. But the other thing I would challenge you to do, Miss Vicky, is not just go inside, and if you're just leaving your card, find out who the general manager is and see about having a conversation with them directly, because having a personal relationship with people work. Okay, if they feel like they have an opportunity to get to know you, many times they don't mind allowing you to do some work with them, depending on how that connection is. Okay.
Okay.
A lot of the branches now are so skinny on their front office, you can't get past the people at the front teller's desk. But yeah, I
I
did
can
that at
believe
one
it.
location. They basically said, yeah, we've taken care of it. So, okay, we'll see how they took care of it.
Again, persistence is the key. Okay. I don't just allow no to be it. Means no, it means not now. I will find out who the branch manager is, take it a step further, go to LinkedIn. Are they listed so I can get to know them a little bit more based on what they shared to see if they got a Facebook page. Again, depending on their age, they may still be on Facebook. I know my son that is 22. He's like, Mom, we don't do Facebook anymore. Okay, sweetheart, it's all right. Okay, but
It's
again,
TikTok.
find out where they are at and get to know them on that level, because there's other ways you can reach them. And so it's just a matter of just being creative, and strategic when it comes to your intention, and it will work.
Okay. Belinda, Sarah asks, is there an app where we can get deposit box assignments?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other
Dang it.
question, is, what is our action as the locksmith?
Your action.
Mm-hmm.
So as a locksmith, when it comes to, you went through all the credentials to become a licensed, um, certified locksmith, you are responsible for drilling the hole once the notary and you, if you're dual, the notary and the locksmith all at once, well, then you have the bank manager. Okay, so you're actually screwing out or drilling the hole to remove the box, making sure the box is placed on the table so it can be inventoried. So you're one and the same. And when it comes to just going through that process, you already have your certification to be hired. So that gives you a lot more leeway to possibly get the job just because you're all in one. And so if you can actually say, okay, well, based on how many boxes I would have to drill, they will know that number. Okay, so that's the good thing, because when there is an inventory date for locksmith with the bank manager to meet with the notary, or the notary that is also the locksmith, there is a number of everything that's going to be done that day, at least the goal to complete it. It may have to run into another day if it's, again, a lot of stuff that's going to take more than 8 hours. But the goal is for you to have an idea based on what your per lock removal fee is. You may be able to give a discount if they have multiple boxes. So that's another way of you gauging how much you may charge. But your simple process is going to drill the hole so they can actually remove the actual box. The reason why there's a locksmith involved, because when you're dealing with an inventory box or safe deposit box, there's two keys. Okay, you cannot actually get access to that box with just the one key that's at the bank. The other key is with the person who owns or lease that box. So until both keys are together to unlock that box, one key is not enough. So that's the reason why, if the person has not been found or contacted to actually come in, then you're going to have to get the locksmith to drill the hole, which is a fee to the lessee of the box.
Okay. Dave made an observation. He said in the new manual, they have a Wachovia bank form, even though Wachovia no longer exists.
And that's probably on purpose, so they won't have anyone saying specifically they're trying to endorse any banking institution. So that was very smart.
Well, they could have left it. He said they could have left it blank.
They could have, but I guess just for example, they decided to actually, or they could have put XYZ Bank. But yeah, I mean, at least it's just a sample for us to have an idea. Jacqueline, did you have a question as well?
No. No, I mean, I was just
Okay.
going to say Wachovia was bought out by Wells Fargo in 2008. I remember that.
Yeah, it has a history of name changes.
It
Which was
really does.
71st.
Yes. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, so you'll find there's some history in a lot of the banking institutions.
Okay.
And Dave, did you have another question? I see your hand is raised.
Um, a comment and a question. When they say that the locksmith or the person from the safe company drills the box, that's somewhat of a misnomer. They don't drill a hole. What they do is they remove the lock cylinders.
Yeah, they cut the
And
lock.
Right.
I've seen this done. It takes about 30 seconds. They put a screw into a cordless drill and they drill it into the key slot in the cylinder. And then when they back it out, the cylinder turns out. It's very, very fast. And my question is, with great difficulty and the help of a magnifying glass, I tried to read the sample inventory form that they have, and I don't like that they left the Wachovia name in. I think they should have blanked it out. But my other comment or question is, the notary signs and stamps this. So shouldn't there be a complete notary certificate? Because this form doesn't have a complete notary certificate. For example, it doesn't have state of North Carolina, county of whatever county is in. So it's not, if it's all supposed to be there as usual, it's not a very good sample form.
So this form, unlike other ones, you're not actually notarizing the principal's signature on this particular document, which is why, based on statute, we can actually negotiate our fee. It's not based on $10 because the principal that would actually have ownership or have leased out this box is not there. So you're dealing with like a business in this situation versus the actual individual. So the statutes, that's the reason why it's unique and is considered a special circumstance just because it is not a part of everything else that we know when it comes to how to properly notarize a document for a principal signer.
Okay, Belinda, say I am the locksmith notary. When the time comes for me to sign the form, what is the best way to designate that I'm dual?
Well, you should have a probably a company as a locksmith. They usually have an LLC
Mhm.
that's already created for their business because that is going to be also listed on that particular form, not just their signature, but who did they
Okay,
work for. So if it's your
okay,
company, that entity would be listed.
okay, okay, okay. That makes sense. All right.
Good question. Now, is there any questions that you may have that's not related to the abandoned safe deposit box situation that you've just made are curious about? This is a good time for you to ask those questions as well. Yes, Miss Vicky.
There's a notary chat next week, which is down in Fayetteville. I live down in Durham on I-40. I would love to carpool with someone because it's really too far to drive just by myself. So if anyone lives I-40 to I-95 or I-40 down to 540 or goes in that direction, would like to carpool, please let me know.
That's a good idea. So yeah, if you guys know anyone else that may be in the Durham area that wants to or plans on going to the notary chat, that would be great.
Okay.
Would
Miss
like
Vicky,
to
you had
find
another
somebody
question? Okay.
who is going that can take questions with them. I think Dave and I were chatting back and forth. Since we have a electronic copy of the manual now, will they be putting out an updated errata every year since they're not going to be printing the paper copy every so often? So that might be a good question for someone who actually is going. Is anyone here going that may not carpool but's going anyway? Anybody live that direction?
I can ask Jonathan, Miss Vicky, if he's planning on attending since he's right in Fayetteville for that particular chat.
Okay. Someone was saying, has anyone, I think it was Vicky, has anyone downloaded the new manual today with no issues? So
No, I had to do a ticket.
oh,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, so me and my husband both have, we're both notaries. So he first did his and he was like, I can't get access to it. So I submitted a ticket and then I later tried myself and I couldn't get through either. So today, I got responses and I have access to the electronic version.
Okay.
I had the same problem and they fixed it for me manually. And after they fixed it, I wrote back to them and asked them whether everyone was going to have to do it manually or whether they were working on a fix to make it happen automatically after you got an account with the School of Government and entered your code under the Redeem tab. And I didn't hear back from them today, but if I do hear back, I'll post it in Belinda's Facebook group and in the Secretary of State notary group. So I guess that means they're still working on it because it really should have happened automatically after entering the code.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably a bug in the system. And because a lot of things seem to have been probably rushed, there's some things that was definitely neglected when it comes to, again, making sure everything worked like it should. So, but this is part of the process. But I'm glad that they do have the right people in place to make sure that we are able to get access.
Oh, so it's not a PD copy. Oh, okay. It's not in PDF format. Somebody was asking a
No,
question.
it's a
Okay.
digital. No, and so the goal is to protect them so not everyone can get access because we could copy and paste it, you know what I mean, and email it to
Right.
someone else. So they're trying to make sure that that's not the issue. And so everything is digitized. You got to go and it goes by chapter on their particular platform that they're using.
Okay.
Right, good stuff.
Let me
So,
see. I'm
so
checking.
who hasn't received their manual? I'm just curious for your 2026.
I haven't received mine yet.
I haven't
Okay.
received mine yet either.
It's on its way more than likely.
I figure it'd probably be a slight delay. It's tax season and everything else going on at the same time. So the post office is dealing with a lot.
Overwhelmed.
Yes.
They're going under a lot of scrutiny. They just need to get. We just need to make sure we can support them.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions, observations? For those that may be doing the the 2 day notary basis accelerated training in person, I'll get to see some of you this weekend. I'll be there Thursday night, and we'll be doing the class all Friday and all day Saturday. So I am looking forward to you guys getting your notary document Bible. Deanna,
Oh,
she couldn't be here tonight because she's cheering her son at his game. So she would be the one who advocates for that particular manuscript. But you guys definitely will be in for a treat of what you have access to and the exercises that we'll be going over. Sarah, you had your hand up.
Yes, ma'am, and thank you. Uh, one of the other things I thought about being is an election notary because last time the presidential election came around, I did the mail-in ballot and I had the notary stamp it. So who would I reach out to in regards to that? Because it comes up only once every 2 years, so it's not a steady thing. But like tax season, election season can be just as busy in its own way. Who would I reach out to? Board of Elections, maybe?
Yes, that's exactly who you have to reach out to.
Okay. All right, thanks. So just hoping that they can steer me in the right direction. Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, they're the one who controls those that actually help around that time of the year. There's a training and all of that that takes place, so everyone know about their station and what to look for and all those things.
Okay.
okay. I don't see any more questions in the chat.
All right, so tell me, guys. Go
Vicky
ahead.
posted something in the chat.
Wait a minute. Did she just? I'm in Q&A.
No, I was in the chat. Just basically said the absentee ballot that you frequently have organizations or churches or whatever offering a come here and we'll have the witnesses or the notaries for you. And so just look for people who are advertising absentee ballots.
Okay.
And again, you cannot charge for it.
That's correct. Thank you for that, Miss Vicky. You can't charge for mileage either. But it does open up opportunities that for those of you that do have someone with their absentee ballot, be able to now assist them with other notarial needs. That would definitely be something beneficial for you to actually be introduced, helping them in this way, where they can refer you also to a lot of their friends also.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so again, is there any other questions that you can think of, or tell me what value this may have brought for you? What is a takeaway that you can share? At least one.
To think of a variety of streams of income, some maybe more, it may make more sense, and some may be a little bit more out there. But like more people are signing loans and on a regular basis as compared to election ballots. But there's always some possibilities, and just be
There's
ready to
endless.
move.
Yes, that part. Always be prepared. Miss Vicky.
For people who are taking your class or are going to take your class, Belinda has a very interesting little bag of items for you to inventory, so you get a chance to figure out, how do I write this critter down?
Okay.
Yes, so we go through a mock signing that you will go through the actual steps. And it's again, it's one of the highlights of our trainings for you to actually see and understand how to again properly inventory those items.
Okay. Well,
Thank you for that, Miss Vicky.
I can honestly say every Tuesday I look forward to this training. Um, because I just want to make sure that I learn the correct way to do it. If someone explains and demonstrates it for me, then I'm all the better for being able to do it according to how the Secretary of State wants it done. So I appreciate just this training period.
You're very welcome. You came and this is the treat. Yes.
Mhm. Yes. Yes.
And Karen, I see your hands up.
I just thought of another thing to share. I had a student one time that said it took 8 hours at the bank to do one box. It was for
Wow.
rare coins. They
Ooh.
had to list each coin.
Wow.
So, just something that if I were trying to think of a price that I was going to charge, uh, that might be one of those that if you did it for, if you said, well, I'll do it for such and such amount, and got there and opened a box and it had, all those rare coins in it, it might be one where you say, I changed my mind.
It's hard
But
to do that, Karen, when it's all exposed now. It can't be locked up again.
I know it's just
That's when you just tell them this is my
I
hourly
hadn't really
rate.
thought about until somebody said that 8 hours on one
Yeah.
box. If you're charging
Yeah.
box, uh, that wouldn't work.
And
Yeah.
that's why I say, you want to charge per hour because you
Mhm.
don't know how much time it may take. And again, you may come across one or two boxes that may be completely empty, so
True.
your time is still your time.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Okay, so
But yeah, that had to be an experience.
I wonder what they did about lunch in the restroom.
Well, the good thing is it's a vault, so they can lock that. Everybody can step out at one time and lock it, and then
That's
everybody
true.
can enter at the same time. So they
That's
have to
true.
have some type of coordination. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you do have to have a lunch. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and Brett,
You got to go to the
you can't.
bathroom occasionally.
You right. You can't put yourself in jeopardy health wise.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my
We
goodness.
talked about that locksmith that has to stay the entire time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And what kind of coins were they? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know. They just this was a bank employee talking um, about it and said they were rare coins. So, when
Mm,
you got things that are rare or old like that, I guess
unique.
they were making them write down each one individually, um, so that because they're of different value depending upon the coin and the year and all that kind of stuff. So, I just thought it was interesting.
And
Mm.
Monica, I did see your hand raised.
Oh, I was just going to talk about the I-9, the I-797A, that I was trying to find information on, that I had a customer wanted a notarization for. So the first thing he asked was, could I do it? And I didn't know what it was, and I needed to see it. So
Hmm.
once he brought it over, I called Karen right away after I couldn't get in touch with you, because I use all my resources. I called Karen right away. She was like, "Nope, might have to ask Jonathan." I asked Jonathan. He said, "I'm not sure, but he said you had to." He said, "I believe you should add a true copy to it." So the other thing was the guy reminded me that if he came back because he had did two or three other I had to do two or three other notarizations for him, that I told him that I was going to give him a break. Well, that was his break, but
Mm,
because I had worded it the correct way in the text message and it was still there, I had to honor his break, honor his discount. So if you ever want to give anybody a discount, or you tell them if they come back they're going to have a discount, make sure that you word it correctly. And if you go
mhm.
back and you didn't write it down in your journal, make sure that you make notes so that you have it in the future, just in case that person comes back. But that I-797A, that's a real delicate document, and you have to notarize the copies. You can't notarize the documents itself.
Okay, so yeah, I have to listen to more about what it is because again, we're going to come across thousands of different types of documents, depending on how long you stay a notary, and we just have to treat it based on what we see. If there is a notarial box, then we need to know that we can again look over the contents of what's in or on that form. Make sure there's no obvious blanks that needs to be again completed, and of course, making sure you read the verbiage of the notarial certificate so you know if it's an oath and affirmation, not just an acknowledgement, because it does matter when it
Mm.
comes to making sure you administer the oath or affirmation to that individual if that certificate specifies. So, again, we have to make sure we remember what all we're looking for before we move forward with witnessing anyone's signature.
Yeah.
Okay. Maurice, I see your hand is raised.
Hey Belinda, how you doing?
I'm good.
Um, I know. I think you're affiliated with AppSumo, right?
Yes.
Okay. So about the calendar that I'm using now, and about the idea that you gave me was one of the key things that uh, I need to thank you for, because the documents. I can upload the documents to my booking calendar. And so, if they see a document that they need, now they can just go on there, click on the document, and then I can go notarizing. So that was one of the key things that I want to thank you for, because now I'm seeing that, you know, as you know, we talk more, I'm learning more just on the side, on the marketing side. So I really appreciate that. There's one more thing I got to do to that booking calendar, but I think it's still, actually I think it's still on a lifetime deal. So
Mm.
you might want to, you know what I'm saying, look at it, you know, not get it, because I think you got probably about 2 or 3 calendars just like myself. You know what I'm saying? We always, you guys, me and Belinda, we always, hey, look, AppSumo got this, AppSumo got that. So I think I got 2. Well, I got 3 now, and I think I like this one better. So the key thing was having the documents, because a lot of people would call me and say, well, you know, do you have this document? And I'm like, you know, I would tell them, well, I got a whole bunch of documents. So, you know, go to my Google Drive and just look at the document that you need. But now I can put them on the booking site, and that's even better. So I appreciate that.
So this is the thing that I want you guys to walk away with. When we actually put anything on our social media, on our website, first of all, we can't draft things unless you are a licensed attorney. So you want to make sure you put a disclaimer when it comes to the information that you're disclosing on any of your public forums. I have links that can go to the Secretary of State website. So when it comes to what the Secretary of State has access to, is a lot of the forms that we generally need access to for the loose certificates. There's a lot of information that, again, the public may not know exactly where to go, but you can help them when it comes to, if they come across your website, information that you could say, commonly used documents that you may actually notarize. Once again, you can only share things that are shareable and not one that you're creating, because that will be illegal. So the goal is for you to give them access to the links that we have access to online that is free speech. So when it comes to how we position ourselves, it's all about strategy, making sure that you're staying within what legally we can do and not breaking the law for the things we should not be doing. So again, it's all about making sure you understand how to position yourselves to actually still help people in a bigger way, where you may not actually be the one who notarizes a document for them. You may be in a whole different county that's nowhere close, but if they come across your information, you may be able to help them based on the information you have actually shared. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want you guys to take away with that, because again, some people have this idea, oh, I can actually draft. You cannot. Okay, you can be a paralegal unless you're doing something with the attorney that you're working with for your job. You have no exceptions, so please don't do that. Again, we don't want you breaking the law, because you're putting your commission in jeopardy when you do that. And we're about to wrap up. I see Alyssa, you got your hand raised.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was on my
You're
Miss
fine.
Marco, what was the name of that? What was the name of that form? I don't know computers. Do you know what the name of that form was again? I mean, I was just wondering. What was it? You said 19719A?
I can tell you, it's I-797. So it's
I
I-797.
uh-huh.
A as an
Uh-huh.
alpha.
797. Uh-huh.
And it's a notice of action form.
Yeah, by
Notice.
immigration.
Oh, it's immigration. Okay, notice of action form.
That's what it's called, where this is what it shows under the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that is considered an I-9 statement. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not I-9. It's a whole different form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought I heard her say I-9. Okay. Okay.
She was trying to actually say the numbers, but the actual series is 797.
Thank you. Okay. I appreciate that. I was just wanting to do some research on it.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
I just pulled it up, and it just said it serves as evidence of legal status and often includes a new form I-94 at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's more than one form.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
And so this is a good way for you guys to, again, always be learning by researching, kind of getting some educational information. That information that you discover on here, it could be something that you actually put on your website of, I can notarize this document. Okay. And again, this is putting information out to those that may be looking for the document to be notarized. So now you become the expert, because if you already are specifically talking about this, people are going to be like, oh, shoot, she's the one I might need to talk to because I don't see it anywhere else. So again, always find a unique way of positioning yourself when it comes to who your ideal customer can be. We're going to have to wrap it up because we're at 7:34. I don't want to take away anyone else's time unnecessarily because we're going to be back next Tuesday. But Dave, I see your hand is up. So go ahead, sir.
Does anyone know what was in the beautifully gift wrap package that the Secretary of State was going to open for us last week? Or alternatively, what happened to the package that they never opened for us?
We have to talk to them.
Mhm.
That was a teaser. I feel like they were teasing us.
Okay.
I
There
felt like
is one.
someone promised me a birthday gift and never delivered.
Okay.
Yeah, take it over to them, Dave, to see what they say. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry,
There
Jacqueline.
was one more question. Tina wanted to know, what type of booking calendar do you use?
I use Tidycal. It's similar to Calendly. The beauty of it is Calendly, of course, you're paying a subscription. Um, for Tidycal, it has the same functionality, and I only paid once. And I have been able to do so much more with it. So yes, that has been beneficial for me. It's Tidy, Tidycal.
Okay.
And Maurice, you have your
So
hand up,
I'm
and
sorry.
then we're going to go to the outro.
Yes, I do. So, Belinda, I'm trying to turn my camera around if I can on the phone. Actually, do you know how to do that, Belinda?
How to?
Uh,
What are you trying to do? I mean,
I'm
what are
trying
you
to
trying to
sh-
show?
I'm trying to show. Actually, I'm trying to show my little mobile setup I got here with my scanner and printer that's in the cooler. That's in a small
So,
cooler with rollers on it. But I don't know
are
how.
you on your laptop or on your phone?
No, no, no. I'm on my phone.
So there should be a way of doing it on your phone for turning the camera.
I do see the camera, but I don't see how to
Do you have
turn
an
it.
iPhone?
Yes.
So it should be like two arrows at the bottom in the corner of your picture.
Okay. Okay. I see that. But
And it's
it's
not working for you.
no, it's not working for me.
It may not work when you're in this app with Belinda. Try
Oh,
just
that's
turning your
right.
phone around.
Uh, can you s- can you
Yep.
see?
Yeah, we
We,
can see your
There we
car.
go.
we can see your
Okay. I don't want you to see the car. I want you to see the
It's
do you
cooler.
see
And,
the cooler? You see the
Yes, we
cooler?
can
okay, I
see
see the
the
cooler. Yeah, I see the
Okay, okay,
cooler.
okay. Okay, this is well, let me open it up first. Okay, so in the cooler, I'm trying to get y'all bear with me just a second. Bear with me. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I promise. You see the cooler? Is that the cooler?
Yeah, we can see well, we see your
Okay.
feet now.
Okay. Okay, so
There you
let me
go.
do it like this. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to show. I want to show. Okay. So okay. I think I'm there, right?
Yeah, we
Okay,
can
I
see
see
it
it.
now.
Okay, so this is the printer. I'm sorry, this is the scanner. Up under the scanner is a laser printer because Belinda told me to get a laser printer. And I think I paid like $99 for the laser printer. And then this is the scanner. So it's in a cooler bag that rolls so I can roll it. So that's my little portable setup right there when I just throw it in the car and I keep going. So I can print,
Okay.
scan,
Okay.
and super fast. But I just want to show that.
All right, I appreciate that, Maurice.
All
And
right.
so let me do our outro because I want to make sure that again for those that are looking at the replay or looking at our TNT for the very first time on the YouTube channel, you'll be able to again share,
Mhm.
subscribe is really important. I really want to get our 1,000 subscribers up here. Okay, so hopefully you guys will plug in and become a subscriber of the channel, like and share with other fellow notaries that may, again, are new to the space, because it's going to be beneficial. As you can see, being here live helps because you're able to not only get a lot of the information that I'm presenting, but you're hearing from other notaries that can actually, again, cover something that you've never heard about before, or answer a question that you just wanted to have an answer yourself. So again, there's so many different benefits of being here on the TNT's live. But again, you still can get benefits if you're not, because everyone have different schedules. But I want to make sure that you do have access to this information when you're not able to join us weekly. So again, I thank you guys for your support, being able to show up after you come home from work or before you have to go into work. You're here. So again, all of that does mean a lot to me. A lot of these things, again, is of my time, but the goal is for me to make sure that I'm always supporting you guys, advocating for you guys, and providing education so that you can always thrive, because you deserve it. You have put yourself in a situation of being an essential worker for the Secretary of State in this capacity. So the goal is for you to know you got the support from a fellow notary that understands, that's relatable, and really does do a lot to make sure that you do have access when no one else may not have it for you. So again, this is a collaborative effort. Again, thank you guys for taking the time to show up and being a part of this. So kudos to you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Tuesday, Notary Tune-up at 6:30. So I guess I'm going to say good night, and I will see you later.
Good night, everyone. Have a great week.
You do the same.
Good night,
Thank
all.
you.
Stay cool.
Good night.